Hey, what's going on, GameLeapers? Jizz is back at it, and in this video I cannot wait to show you because each and every one of you is going to learn how to become a mechanical god on Summoner's Rift. If you want to know why Faker dodges every skill shot, why Doper is so hard to kill, why Chovy's laning its peak performance, well, I'm going to give you 3 tips that these freaks of nature use in every second of every game they are in. Even though your decision making and macro is very important, none of us guys are going to make it to the top without sound mechanics. So stick around until the end for some red hot knowledge. And as you're hitting that sub button, guys, so you don't miss any of our daily uploads, make sure you check out the GameLeap website. We care about our thousands of subscribers. That's right, thousands, which is why we upload daily exclusive videos designed to help you improve so you can escape elo hell and stop molding. So get signed up. Links as always in the description and comment section. All right, so let's get into it. And the first essential high elo mechanic you have to be aware of and practice is going to change your life on the Rift forever. Now, from coaching hundreds of students, this one is particularly common, but thankfully easily fixable with a bit of practice tooling. Now, when I move my mouse about like this, can you see this? From one side of the screen to the other, right? This is something so many players do, and it might not be as bad as this, but I've seen some shockers. And the reason these mouse movements are so bad, guys, is because they are so far away from your character. And as a result, it's very hard, right, to have any sort of control over your champion's movement. All the precision goes out the window. So let's say this dummy in front of me is an enemy champion and I want to hit them with one of my abilities. Can you see how hard it is for me to accurately target that champion with my mouse when it's in Narnia? So how do we fix this? Well, it's simple. Keep your mouse close to your character. So if I draw a little circle around Syndra here, and this is for any champion, any role, any skin, any server, I want to keep my mouse within this circle's radius. And look how easy it is for me to quickly snap onto my opponent. So this is the first reason it's so beneficial to have tight mouse control, because your skill shots are more accurate, and this will be huge for when you're getting ganked or in a big team fight, all the time, to be honest. And I'm just going to give you guys a little drill for training this. So get in a practice tool. Again, it doesn't matter what champion you're playing. Well, maybe Yuumi doesn't count, but yeah. Turn off cooldowns for a second and put 4 wards around you, so your trinkets. Put 4 of them around you in that circle we just looked at. And this is going to force you to keep your cursor in that boundary. Now, it might trigger something instantly for some of you, but it will take time for others. The key here, guys, is to repeat this drill, this process, until it becomes second nature, and all of a sudden, you will be moving like Faker. Trust me. Now, another reason why this is so beneficial, guys, having this tight control and why you have to learn this, and I'm going to give you another tip very soon that will help you here, is that CSing becomes so much easier. You're not going to have 50 CS at 10 minutes anymore, or 100 CS at 20 minutes. You are now going to give yourself a chance at getting CS per minute. Because you don't have to move your mouse as far, your timing is all of a sudden 10 times better, and your confidence starts to grow, as does your bank, and you finally understand why these pro players have crazy CS numbers in their games. This is one huge way to get to that next level. Now, just a quick tip here. A lot of students and players think that playing with a high mouse sensitivity or DPI or mouse speed is a good thing. Wrong, because no individual, guys, is the same. Like, if most of us mere mortals were to play with Faker's 3000 DPI or whatever crazy number it is, we would run it down every game. So you have to find a mouse sensitivity or in-game mouse speed that works for you, and most of, if not all of the time, the lower it is, the better. It's all about control with that mouse cursor, and you can go into your mouse's software to change its DPI, or you can just go to the in-game settings and change up the mouse speed. Now, the final reason, guys, and probably the biggest advantage of having close mouse control, is that it becomes so much easier to dodge skill shots and evade damage. Like, aren't you sick of getting hit by every Blitzcrank hook, every Lux binding, every Ezreal Q? Well, the reason why you get hit by all these is because your cursor control is AFK. Because your cursor is closer to your character, it's much quicker to adjust your movement depending on what's being thrown at you. And again, if your cursor is sitting in the river or on the edge of your screen, it's hard to bring it back to where you need to. Now, I'm going to give you 2 more massive mechanical tips here, guys. And if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to let us know by smashing that thumbs up button. And the first of these 2 mechanical tips, and both of these are aimed at helping you dodge skill shots, is a bombshell. You guys have to, and no joke, if you want to climb, you have to start moving left and right, as well as forwards and backwards. And I know I sound like a driving instructor or something, but having full range of motion with your character, guys, is critical. And I've alluded to this in other videos, but one of the worst things players in low elos do is they move either towards their opponent when they want to fire them, or directly away from them when they don't want to fire them. It's very black and white. This is bot movement. And I'm talking about the beginner bots as well, not even the intermediate ones. So why is this so important? Well, obviously not every skill shot in a game is going to fly at you from the same angle. They could come from any angle at any time, and you have to be able to react accordingly. If your brain and hand are programmed to just move in 2 directions, so forward and backwards, then you are going to stay hard stuck. This is why the top players, especially during the laning phase, will click to the left and to the right, because sidestepping skill shots is the most achievable way of dodging them, rather than just running back hoping you get out of range. So can you see here how different it looks when I move my cursor from side to side rather than just clicking forwards and backwards like I am now? You have to have that range, guys, and another big advantage of doing this is that it is a lot harder for your opponent to read a gank. You know, most players beeline it towards the enemy champion when their jungler is ready to gank, but it's very hard to tell when that player is clicking from side to side. This might not be the make or break break tip of the century, but it is an essential mechanical building block. Now, the third and final tip that is going to help you with dodging skill shots and becoming a mechanical genius actually has nothing to do with your mouse or keyboard. And just as I reveal this tip, guys, I want you checking out the GameLeap website in return for me. Challenger is waiting for you. Can you feel it? You have the world's nut coach uploading daily videos on there and a bunch of other Challenger content, so why not? Links down below. So yeah, this mechanic, guys, this bad boy has to do with your eyes and where you are actually looking in the lane. And it might sound stupid, but it actually makes a lot of sense, and this is one of the most marked differences between the best and the rest. So when your average player is laning, right, they will look at what is right in front of them. They don't extend their vision past the halfway point of the lane, so most players, and as crazy as this sounds, don't even look at their opponent. And this is another reason why you get hit by every skill shot, or you don't capitalize when your opponent wastes a cooldown, let's say, and that's why they are not in your scope of vision. The enemy champion or champions in your lane, guys, is the primary objective. They are the most important detail in that lane. So why are we not looking at them? Well, I've got a training exercise for you that's going to help you out, and even if you're Diamond, Master, Grandmaster, heck, even Challenger, I would highly encourage you to try this out. So create a custom game and add 5 melee bots to the other team. Create the game and lock in a ranged champion. It can be a mage, a marksman, an enchantress, anything. Then when you're in game, run to the mid lane, and when the minions arrive and the enemy bot comes out to play, look at nothing but that bot. Your goal is to harass them and smash them out of lane. Now, the great thing about this is that your peripheral vision will actually notice minions that are last hittable, and amazingly, you will still be aware enough to get these while you're harassing and watching the enemy champion. And if the bot decides to spice things up and run at you, if they have a skill shot like a Mundo Cleaver, for example, you will see it coming. What this exercise does, guys, is it forces you to do more than one thing at a time. You're harassing, you're CSing, you're moving. No one in Challenger does just one thing well. To get to the peak of the mountain, you have to be apt to do all things at a high level, and this is honestly the hardest thing. It's somewhat easy to just damage your opponent, but you miss all the CS, and it's somewhat easy to play safe and not die, but you give up the CS, the damage, and then have to hope your team is doing well, which is the worst part. Now, I'm sure you've seen it in some of the Jizz's recent videos, how I show you how important it is to contest minions. And this is another great thing about putting in this practice, guys. By looking at the enemy champion, you are going to notice when they move up, and this is usually for one of 3 reasons. The first is the CS, of course. So as soon as they move up, you can quickly glance at your own minions to see if their intention is indeed to last hit a minion. This is going to give you way more of a chance of damaging the enemy champion because no one wants their opponent getting a minion for free. Well, I hope not anyway. The second reason why your opposite number might move up in this lane is to harass you. Maybe their cooldowns came back up, or maybe you're the one looking to last hit a minion. And the third reason is because your opponent is trying to set up a play, whether that's for their jungler or any teammate who's about to gank you. And in low elo, this is by far the most common reason as to why someone moves closer to you, and it's very easy to spot. You know, they've been playing passive all game, and then all of a sudden, they turn on the NOS and go flying. So it may seem as if these mechanics and these tips are pretty whack, but these are the secret ingredients, guys, to that Challenger mechanics recipe. They are so subtle, yet so powerful, and if you want to get to the promised land, you will not do it without these techniques. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the practice exercises I gave you and if they helped you. And until tomorrow's daily upload, this has been the Jizz. Bye.